Hello, this is Jen Mitchell-Love from Solace Divorce Mediation, and today's live is about the third most common divorce search. So I already did a video about the first, which was how much does divorce cost? The second was how long does it take to get a divorce? And the third most common divorce search is about the kids. What happens with the children? Who gets custody? And just like the other two, that depends. That's the answer for that. It depends. And why does it depend? Because it depends what venue you're in. If you are in the court system and you are asking the question, what is going to happen with your kids, then I will share with you what is going to happen with your kids is whatever the judge is going to rule is going to happen with your kids with regards to when you're going to see your kids week to week, holidays, school breaks. The judge is going to tell you that. And the judge is going to tell you that based upon the recommendation, most commonly, if there's any issues in parenting, of a guardian ad litem or a child's representative who is the attorney of and for your children, who then interviews your kids, interviews each of you, goes to your home, maybe interviews some friends and family. If there's any concern about any kind of mental health thing, the guardian ad litem will recommend a psych eval, and then you'll both have to do a psychological evaluation, and then the therapist will provide a recommendation to the guardian ad litem, who then will provide a recommendation to the court. So what is going to happen to your kids in litigation, you have zero control over. None. Nada. Not one little bit. Doesn't matter that they're your kids. Doesn't matter that you know them more than anyone else in the world. Doesn't even matter that you have to have a forever co-parenting relationship with your soon-to-be ex-spouse. If you are in the courtroom getting a divorce, what happens to your kids is completely up to your judge. You have nothing to say or do about it, which is terrifying. To me, as a parent, a mother of three who's like a protective mama bear, there is no way, ever, no way that I would ever give anyone else the authority to make decisions about my children other than me and my co-parent. And why? Because I love them more than anyone else. Because my co-parent and I are the two people who have a vested interest in making sure that our offspring are happy and healthy and well adjusted and doing all of the things that they want to do in their lives. So there's no way that I'm going to have some rando stranger who is sitting at the front of the courtroom wearing a robe, answering to judge, yes, probably looking very important to all of you out there who are not attorneys, but the fact is that person has never met your children. Never. That person will never meet your children, never live one day in your family. So that's the litigation picture of what could happen to your kids. Now let's shift to mediation, which is the space that I occupy at Solace Divorce Mediation. And in that space, what happens to your kids? Well, you and your co-parent figure out what happens to your kids, and you're guided by a neutral mediator. So in the space of mediation, that is what I do. I guide my couples through all of the different conversations they are required to have pursuant to the governing law when it comes to all parenting issues, all money issues. This video is focused on parenting. So I guide them through all the conversations. And the beautiful part about that is that the law is telling us that all of the agreements about the kids, when it comes to decision making, when it comes to parenting time, week to week, holidays, school breaks, travel, vacations, introduction of significant others, all of those things, when it comes to those things, they must be in the best interest of the child or children. So I always coach all my clients. You are the best authorities to figure out what is in your children's best interest. You're their parents. You've known them since the day you found out you were pregnant with them. You love them more than anyone else. And this, you and your co-parent, yes, you're getting a divorce and you're not going to be married anymore, but you're always going to be in a relationship with one another. So let's start working together now in this new space where you're not married. You know, now you're co-parents. You can have really mindful conversations. You can work together to figure out what is in our children's best interest. What is it that we want for them? At Solace, in the beginning of the journey, we set intentions for the children, for the next space of relationship, because intentions are powerful. When you share what it is you want, now we're in a space of co-creation. Now we can work together to say, okay, I love that intention. I love that vision. I have that same for our children. Let's work together as a unified front, as co-parents, to make that intention come true and happen. So the answer to the question, what happens to your children in mediation, is it is up to you. Nothing happens in mediation unless both parents agree upon it. And I always coach my clients, mediation is a gift. It is a huge, huge gift. And it is something to be very grateful for when you agree to mediate and when your spouse agrees to mediate the divorce too. That is a gift, and that can be part of the gratitude share that we do at Solace in the very beginning of thank you, thank you, thank you, spouse, for choosing mediation so we can be in control of all of the decisions about our children. We are not giving up any of our control to some rando stranger where this is a job for that person. They're getting paid to do this work. They have zero vested interest in your children, in your family. So mediation is a gift. I am so honored to be here and sharing these 100 days of lives with you. And I offer free consultations. You can go to the solacedivorce.com website, and you can also go to solaceuniversity.com. There's a ton of free videos. There's the Divorce with Love Masterclass. There's the Shine Soul Shine book that I wrote that will help you with your healing and self-discovery while you're going through the darkness of the divorce cocoon. And there's also the divorce mirror exercise. So check all these things out, empower yourself, love yourself, and recognize that everything happens exactly as it should, exactly when it should, including your divorce. And as my grandmother always said, this too shall pass and all will be well. I'm sending you much love. Mwah.